All right, hello. Welcome back to Afternoon Drive here to end the week. Final show. My name is Drew Moholland. Hope you're all having a good Thursday. Wind is a little bit died down compared to the last couple of days. My goodness, it was freezing yesterday. Took the dogs to the dog park, and it was brutal. Even they didn't like it. Even they wanted to go home. But anyways, hope you're having a good Thursday. Hope the week's been good to you. You've almost made it to Friday. All that good stuff. Very busy weekend around these parts. A lot going on. A lot of concerts going on, actually. Elton John, the big Friday final show in Boston tomorrow night. That'll be very exciting. I hope maybe some of you are going to that. The sports for the fall are winding down. Actually, on that note, I need to give a big shout out to my cousin Carly. Her Danvers Falcons volleyball team won their semifinal game in Taunton last night, on to the state final Saturday. So Danvers High volleyball, very nice. She's having a big year, so we're very proud of her. I'll be in Worcester tomorrow to watch the girls. Hopefully they can bring it home. They got the nice little police escort through downtown last night after their semifinal win, so that's a cool thing they do back in Danvers. So all the sports teams that are finishing strong here in the area, good luck to you guys. And on that note, we're going to introduce the head basketball coach at Newburyport, Coach Dave Clay. It's almost winter sports season now. Here we go, right into it, huh? Coach, how are you?
Good. How are you?
Good to see you again, man. How's the off season been?
It's been great.
Yeah? Been busy?
Yeah, very busy.
Good. You got the nice, I like the Clippers gear. They're very good. I like the pullover jacket. Very nice.
Thank you.
What's the, so I remember your team last year. Talk about tournament fun like I was just talking about. You guys had some tournament fun last year. Looking for more of it this year, right?
A lot more of it, yeah.
Who you bringing back? Remind everybody.
Parker McLaren.
Yep.
Jacob Robertson.
Yep.
Ryan Archie.
Yep.
And
those are three big ones right there. Huh?
Yeah. Max Gagnon, he started a few games at the point guard position.
Yep.
That was like the main. Those four guys were pretty big.
You lose Casey, of course. Casey's the big loss there. Parker's brother, Casey McLaren's gone. So.
Yep, and then we bring back our infamous trio of Trevor Ward, Charlie Kaline, and Nick White.
Very good. Very exciting. So you excited? Is this the time of year where you're kind of winding up and getting ready to go?
Oh, it never ends.
It never ends.
Which I love. Yeah.
Really? All right. So you're tuned in the whole time.
Oh yeah.
Do you get like super excited though when like you get the college basketball games on? Celtics now run off 9 wins in a row. Does it? You start to get feeling like, all right, high school's next. It's our turn now.
Yep.
You get to that point.
Oh yeah. No, it's fun when college kicks off and then you can go see some guys that you've coached before. So that's always enjoyable and now it's going to be ours soon.
What are the because I do feel like they change a lot. I mean, they're probably all generally the same, but since I've been in high school, what are the rules for a coach? What can you do? What can you watch? What can you coach? Who can you coach? I need to know all these details. What have you been up to for the last few months?
Oh, I feel like a stalker.
Really?
I can't do much. So
really, you can watch, but you can't coach.
I cannot coach. No,
okay.
I can't instruct. I feel like I can't really talk to them at all. So I go and watch
and just keep your mouth shut.
Yeah,
that must be brutal when you see somebody doing something that you're just not going to accept this year.
Yeah. No, it is tough because sometimes they develop some habits that you need to, try to kick. But
can you write them a letter or something at that point? What's?
Oh, yeah, I see them in school. So it's educationally we talk.
So it's like you can't go to a basketball court though and instruct there because that would be a MIAA violation.
Yeah, it would be an unfair advantage to the. Like, say, a 3-sport athlete who's playing football.
Understood.
If I can instruct someone who's not playing football, that wouldn't, be
Understood. And then you would have the coaches that push the limit and end up making it a off-season league or something and always be instructing, right?
Some do.
That's how some still do. Well, we won't get into that, I don't think. Well, anyways, we'll talk more basketball in a little bit, but how has the off-season been personally? How's the family doing? How's everything?
It's been great.
Dog doing good? I see you walking the dog every day.
Yeah, I got another dog.
Oh, you did the 2.
Yeah.
Good for you.
Yep.
Welcome to the club.
Thank you.
That's me as well.
Yep.
Life's it's a little bit harder.
It is. It is. It's yeah.
I don't know if people told you this with the second dog. I used to get I think people knew I was committed to it, so maybe that's why I got this advice. But people used to tell me, the second dog's really not that much harder than the first because you take them for walks together, you take them to the dog park together, you feed them together, you're just kind of doubling up. Not exactly true.
No.
There is some truth to it, but it's maybe not twice the work, but pretty close.
Yeah,
it's pretty close.
It's a lot. I thought it was going to be a lot easier. I thought that the new dog would get the older dog up and going and running around, and which she has, which has been great.
Yeah, that does happen.
Wow, I forgot how much time it takes to train a dog.
Yeah. Oh, so you went puppy with an older dog.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. That was my scenario too. Still is. They stay puppies for a while. Training a puppy is not easy.
No.
Probably should go get some professional. I've thought about often doing the professional thing because those people are pretty good at what they do. The ones that do the training.
Well, we did.
You did?
Yeah, we went to some place in Hampton every Sunday, and it was, the person was great. It was a great company, and they did a great job. But we didn't do our end and follow through.
That's the thing.
Home.
Yes.
So that's fair.
Yeah, I remember they told us, with we took them. The old dog had been going for some different training, and we brought the puppy there just for basic training. And he goes, "You guys know what to do. It's just a matter of whether you want to do it or not."
Yeah.
And apparently we don't, because the puppy's sleeping with us, and really doesn't listen that much at all. So it's really not a great situation. No, it's a great situation. I love them, and they do. It keeps the older dog young, which is nice. I do. That's my favorite part of it.
Yeah,
is getting the older. All right, well there you go. That's dog. So that's the biggest change in the off season.
No. My wife, we found out we were pregnant.
Well, yeah, that's burying the lead a little bit there, Coach.
Yeah,
I did not even know that. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Good. When did this happen?
I want to say like March we found out.
Wow.
Yeah.
Good. So where are we here? Help me out with that math.
So poor timing on my behalf. So she, which is irrelevant in the spectrum of great things. But
you might want to have her tune in after you say that. There.
My wife is due December 5th.
Wow.
So we're right around the corner. So gearing up for that.
Happy holidays.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Very nice. Well, that's very exciting. Congratulations. I did not know that. That's breaking news on the air here. So there you go. Maybe I had a hunch because I was leading you down that road. So that's interesting. Going to be it's going to have to be in attendance for state tournament games. He or she, do you know?
Yeah, it's a she. Yeah, a girl.
Oh, you do know.
A girl. Yeah.
Well, you knew that. So it seems like everybody knows now. I don't have a kid myself, but it seems like all my buddies who have had kids knew months before.
Yeah.
Is that a tough decision? Is there part of you that wanted to maybe wait, or?
I think we wanted to know just so we could get everything we needed.
That's what they all say. It's more practical. You got clothes coming in and, whatever.
Yeah.
Decorations. All right. Well, that's good. Baby girl coming in. Very exciting. How long before she works on the jump shot?
Oh, jeez. I hope she better be working on it right now,
I don't think I've met your wife. Maybe at the court. Well, I don't think so. Was she an athlete too?
So we have discussions about this. So she was a cross country runner.
We have discussions about whether she was an athlete.
I don't view as being an athlete, which is it's a great sport. They're good, but if you can run, you know what I mean. I don't know if that makes someone.
I always think running is your own category. Yeah. I agree. That's nothing offensive to the runners. They're almost more special in many ways.
They are.
My wife did. Now wife. When she was in when we were dating we were in Brighton at the time. She had signed up for a half marathon on the Cape. It's one of the ones that you qualify for Boston and stuff. So a lot of real good runners do it. And but the goal was, her and her roommate did it. And the goal was that they were going to train all winter. You know what? We signed up for a half marathon. This will get us running in shape all winter. Neither one of them did anything all winter. But she woke up the night before, said, I think I could do it. And I said, I'll drive you down there if you want. If you want to do it. She goes, yeah, I think I would. Would you mind? I said, no, let's do it. No training, half marathon, 2 hours straight up, which is pretty good. Wow. Pretty good time.
Yeah, it's a great time.
It is a great time, yeah. Her roommate was like, who did not run, was like, this is ridiculous. She's a born runner, so yeah.
That's impressive.
That is impressive. In many ways, runners are more impressive than
oh, no, they are.
Those marathon runners, man. But yes, we have the same argument. So she's one of 4 sisters that argues about which one's the most athletic, and they're all kind of the same.
Yeah.
They're not listening. Don't worry.
We'll talk later.
Well, very good. So what do you so I mean, you're always a busy guy anyway, juggling everything you're juggling. You must be like times a million now with the baby on the way. My goodness.
Yeah.
What is it? What are you doing? What's the daily? Walk me through the day. What time are you getting up these days?
Like 4:55, 4:45.
That's early, yeah.
Yep. And then I get to school around 6 and open the gym. And then in the weight room particularly, and then the kids come in to lift and shoot. And,
can you instruct there?
No.
What?
I know.
It's your own gym.
I know. It's a bummer. it's hard sometimes, but I don't want to.
All right. Well, who do you guys? When is the actual first game?
December 13th.
December 13th. All right, so that's right around the corner. So today is it's like exactly a month away.
Yeah. So
I saw. Did you guys have meetings the other day? Or signups or something. Or?
Yeah, we're gonna have a meeting for those who want to try out on Monday.
What's the? Do you have an idea? Because I mean, you got places on your rosters that said. Do you have like an idea of how many spots are up for grabs?
Oh man,
is it tough?
Yeah, it's tough. If we were to do like 15 uniforms, you'd say like there's 8 spots available.
Okay.
I ordered 17 uniforms originally when I ordered them, just so I have like some JV guys who will swing and can and then one for a blood jersey in case someone if they bleed on it they can't wear it. So.
The little things people don't think about when they go to a basketball game, right? The blood jersey.
Yeah.
You've got to be prepared for these things. So when you I remember pretty much your guys, a lot of the talent that you're getting back. Is there an aspect of this that is a complete wild card for you that you literally have maybe some JV guys you've been eyeing for a couple of years, but I don't know, maybe there's like a couple of freshmen that you're kind of fingers crossed hoping that somebody puts some off-season work in or something? Or
that's always the hope, And,
yeah.
And I always love surprises, I don't.
Yeah.
And we have some kind of new coaches this year, so it's good to get their opinion because mine is definitely skewed because I've seen them.
Yeah.
If I see them in the morning or if I see them playing in the summer, so it's good to get a fresh pair of eyes on it.
Yep.
And see what other people see. So.
Did you slip in? You have new coaches this year?
Yeah, we have Dominic Massey, who is a science teacher at the high school.
Okay.
And he's going to help be an assistant.
Is he taking the freshman team or?
He's gonna be up with me on varsity.
Okay.
And Coach Went, who was our freshman coach,
yep.
He was the Pawtucket baseball coach.
Okay.
He resigned from coaching basketball, so that opened up a position where my varsity assistant Chris Pure is gonna coach the freshman team this year.
All right. Well, that's a little different. Do you is that a good change? Is that something that keeps things fresh for you a little bit, or would you rather that be stable all the time for the next 30 years? Or what?
I mean, I love having Chris. I had loved having Chris with me, but I think it's gonna be he's excited for it to have his own team now, and and I think that's a good progression to make in coaching is to have your own team and then figure out all that stuff. So
the coaching tree is starting to branch out.
If I could have my coaching staff that I have now, especially with Tim Mahan and Chris Pura, in the JV and freshman, I mean that would be a dream come true. But I know Tim will find a head coaching job sooner than later. But
a lot of these sports, we were talking the other day about football in particular and how the numbers are way down across the country, really. But really, for a lot of sports, numbers have been down just because there's so much more to do just in life, Mm-hmm. I guess that's kind of the biggest problem, maybe. And then there's unique things about each sport that may be why numbers are down. But it seems to me basketball has never had that problem. It seems like there's always a varsity, a JV, a freshman. They're all always pretty full, and coaches always never seem to be having to search to get numbers. Is that kind of the truth?
Yeah, that's what I've experienced.
Yeah.
And I've been very fortunate with that, both at Triton and now at Newburyport. It's Newburyport more so than Triton. It's just, and cutting kids is the worst.
Because you're at that point, right? You have to make cuts.
Yeah, and it's like that. You look so forward to basketball season, and you can't wait to get with your team.
And then you have this really bummer moment to start things off.
The first 3 days are the worst because then you have to tell some kids they're not good enough, and that's never fun to do in any spectrum.
You know what always drove me crazy is like I remember being especially in middle school, when you're I was always considered tall for a while because I kind of grew faster than a lot of the guys, and then everybody kind of caught up. But there was always you had the tall guys, and for those couple of days of tryouts, you had these coaches that may or may not have really known what they were doing, but they're kind of just looking at the big guys and who's the best, whatever, and maybe, and it's you got 2 days to prove yourself, and it's who can prove themselves in 2 days? I'm gonna watch me consistently for the next month, and then you'll find out who.
Yeah.
And that's gonna be hard because that's a small sample size when you're talking basketball. It's a marathon, right? Not a sprint.
Oh, absolutely.
The season. So it's you got to make these tough decisions about who stays and who goes in 3 days. That's tough on a coach.
Yeah. No, it's not fun. And last year, but a few years ago, I had a kid just surprise me out of nowhere. I was just wow, I didn't even know he was that good. Yeah. And that was probably the best 2 days of his life in basketball that he had played up to that point. Because after that, it was just downhill.
Yeah.
But
lights up for 2 days.
Yeah, he did well in tryouts, so I can't ignore that.
Yeah.
But back to the, you get 2 or 3 days, it's tough.
I'm sure a lot of these kids know each other too. I mean, is that part of that process? Do you talk with like your veterans and like if somebody is lights out like that for 2 days, like do you guys play with him? Like is this the real deal? Or is that like kind of...
I try not to.
Yeah.
I really don't, because who knows what they've been doing on their own.
Yeah.
You look at, if I saw Jacob Robertson per se,
yeah,
like he's in the morning all the time playing.
Yeah.
Now, if I didn't show up in the morning to open up the weight room, I wouldn't see him doing that.
Yeah.
And I'd never know that he plays basketball.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's you just never know who's putting in the work behind the scenes.
It's such a unique thing that so you really do try to go blank slate for everybody.
Oh yeah. No, every year, and it's tough for like the returners.
Yeah.
And I want to keep them fresh and on their toes, and it's... Yeah. Every year I tell them every spot's open.
So Casey could have lost his spot last year. No, I'm just kidding. It's a good way to lose your job, actually. There.
Yeah, seriously.
I'm just kidding. Again, we're joined here by Coach Dave Clay on Choppa Afternoon Drive. A month away here from basketball season and getting ready to go. Any changes within the rules or the conference or the Cape Ann League that we need to know about, or is this kind of nice in that regard? You're a veteran coach and. You know the drill now.
Yeah, well, we're good this year. This year will be the last year that Masco is involved.
Oh, okay. I didn't realize that.
They're going to move to the NEC, I believe, next year.
They're going in with Danvers.
Yep.
That's interesting. Is that a change back? Were they Masco back like 10 years ago?
It may be.
Yeah, I can't remember.
I know Newburyport was even with the NEC.
Yeah, I remember that too.
Prior to the 70s, but it's probably a good move for Masco just because they're the only Division II team in our league, and when they get to the tournament, I think it's a lot harder for them to compete with like schools their size because they're used to playing against Division III and IV teams.
Yeah, that's a fun rivalry though. A lot of the Cape Ann League teams really like beating up on Masco and hate losing to Masco. Yep. So I guess a lot of good rivalries, of course. In the Cape Ann League. One quick thing too before I'm just curious because you're getting into this time of year and I know you dread it, so why not hit you with the questions that you dread? What is the process for, like, what's the right way to go about cutting a player, by the way? I'm just curious. Is it like you 7 are out the door, or like see you next time, or like how is that? I know there's no easy way to do it, but I'm just curious how you go about it, your process.
Yeah, we meet with them one-on-one. We meet with every single person one-on-one.
You do?
Yeah.
Okay. That's nice.
Which could take, the downfall, it takes a lot of time.
Yeah.
But I think it's worth it in the end. And we usually have them line up in a straight line and then have their bags ready.
Yep.
And then after they leave our office, we ask them just to leave. Like, even if you made the team, you're leaving. I don't, because then you get into like everyone's asking, oh, did he make it? Did you make it? And I know that can be awkward for players who didn't make it.
Right.
And then for some kids they get emotional and they put a lot of time into it and they're disappointed, and I don't want them to be seen crying or anything.
Yeah. All right, so that's actually a good insight, because I'm sure a lot of coaches actually probably looking for the right way to do that. What is that like? Every coach I've ever talked with, and I don't think even parents understand this, 'cause living in the moment, but I have never once met a coach that enjoys that process or like gets anything good out of it. Like they dread it. It's the worst. This is not what I signed up for. It is, but that's not why they're coaching. This is the worst part of it.
It's and I'm sure parents will, maybe roll their eyes, but it's a lot of sleepless nights after that.
Yeah, that's true. I can completely imagine that. That's going to be like, think about going to like knowing that you're going to have a horrible day at work for whatever reason. That's what it is.
And you go into it, and then after it, all you're thinking about is not even your team. You're thinking about the kids you cut and how are they handling it at home? Are they going to be awkward in school now when I see them in the hallway?
Another added issue, right? Because you're you see them every day. It's not like you're just going to be in the basketball court.
Yeah,
man, that's going to be brutal. And then, I'm sure it's got to be easier to take when you're younger, and maybe there's some potential there. You know what? Can work on your game, come back, that sort of thing, right?
Yeah.
Hope that happens.
Oh, and I hope they all continue to play, because I love the game, and I love to see kids play in the game, and I hate to see someone not get a chance to play high school basketball and then stop playing because they got cut.
You almost wish you could have 6 teams, and
I wish. I think for a lot of kids too, it's the first time they have to deal with cuts, because soccer doesn't cut or football doesn't cut, so when cross country doesn't cut, so when they come to us, it's like usually their first time experiencing that kind of.
How many kids can you keep on a freshman team? I know there's varsity very strict rules. Does freshmen get a little more lenient, or does JV get more lenient, or
just in terms of like practices and numbers, usually between 12 and 14.
It's pretty I mean, that's a basketball team, so there's not much you can do about it.
Like you get into more kids and you have to worry about playing time and none of it.
Yeah, I remember we kept too many on my freshman team because we had huge numbers try out, and I actually remember the games being pretty brutal. Because it's like we had a coach who would try to please everybody, get everybody in, but it was like you only had a couple minutes here. Like there was never any rhythm, or the only thing that was good about that was practices.
Yep.
And the practices you could literally split up and run full court for games. Now that's kind of what we treated as our season, but it was kind of a throwaway when it came to the games, which is a bizarre way of thinking about high school sports, but. That was back in the day, but never a fun process. So, all right, sorry for the 5 minutes spent on cutting. I know you're gonna have enough thinking about that as we go. Memories from last year. Did you get a chance to sit back and? I mean, you had a great season. Who was that team? I remember calling your game. What was that team you lost to there? Drake it?
Drake it, yeah.
That kid that went off on you guys.
Yes, he did.
He's young too, right? He's still around.
He was a freshman.
You doing the best you can to avoid him this year? Or? Did you schedule them?
No.
Because you were last year, you had them scheduled, right?
Yeah, and then they dropped us like 2 weeks before the season.
Yeah, I remember that being a very odd situation. So we did not schedule them this year.
No.
Okay, we're staying away from that. Drake it or was that Drake it what?
The Middies.
The Drake it Middies. That's right. What was that kid's name? Do you remember?
Adrian Torres.
You'll never forget that kid's name.
No.
So this, for those of you who don't remember, this young freshman, probably what 5'9",
maybe
5'9", shot lights out for you guys, and just he's a great player.
And it hasn't stopped. Let's make that clear. Like he's, I follow on Twitter, not him, but like basketball in general, and he's popped up on my feed a few times for
playing off season.
He's a real great player, and you can tell he puts time in. So
it's funny. I interviewed him after that game, and you may remember that, and he was like as cool and calm in that moment. Like, a lot of these kids are like through the roof when they have a game like that. And you would have thought he was bored. Well, I think I gotta get the bus. So you realize what you just did. They're not going to leave without you, right? It was very interesting, but I mean, I don't know, just different zone, I guess. But when you look back, what did you guys learn about that when you lose a game on your home court like that, those stakes?
We had a big talk about with the returners. It just, we don't want to end our season at home anymore. We've done it the last 2 years, and
the first year was a bit of an asterisk.
You
had the number 1 seed in the state come in, right?
Yeah, that was tough. But just in general, if we and it's more selfish on my behalf. The kids are upset after a loss, so you have to sit in the locker room and a lot of emotion, and that's painful for me to watch because I love these kids and I don't want to see them in that state. So I'd rather be on a bus ride where they can get, if they're emotional, they can be on the bus and I don't have to look them straight in the eye and feel like I disappointed them in any way. But
it's funny when if you literally, I know you take all these you I guess naturally take losses personally as a head coach. It's it's your program. Do you, when you go back and in the weeks after that, you get eliminated and the season's over? I think Belichick always refers to it as the season does not gradually end. It's a plane crash. It's over. It's grinding halt, and that's probably how it feels. I mean, there's no more games. Is there a part of you that thinks that, like, what could I have done differently? Did I do all I could?
Every game, every losses. I mean, we had a couple opportunities that game to some timeouts I could have called. They could have dropped some different plays to get our best players the ball in certain spots that I know they would have benefited from, and for one reason or another, it didn't work out that way. It's
a crazy job, isn't it? The family must help in that regard, right? Does your wife able to get your mind off it, or are you just a miserable man for 48 hours?
I wish it lasted 48 hours. I'm miserable for a while.
Really?
Yeah.
I can imagine.
Yep.
Life of a coach. That's why they say the wife of a coach is a very difficult job as well, right?
Oh, she is an angel. No, she is special.
You guys had a great year last year, though. Let's not lose track of that. I mean, it's been a great couple of years under you. I know you're happy with the players you got, but do you think now you're getting into the, what is it, year 3, 4 here?
Yeah, three
full. So this will be year 3. Now you're starting to talk about like the group that has grown up under you and the younger classmen that are starting to turn into upperclassmen. That's an exciting time for a coach, right?
I love it. Yeah.
Not that you recruit these kids, but they're growing up under you. That's kind of, this is the moment, right?
Yeah. No, this is fun. Now they know what I value. They know how to act, behave. Not that they didn't before. It just, my expectations may be different from someone else's, and so now it's it's been exciting to watch.
That's what I got to. I say this a lot, actually. We've been very lucky with, I don't know, maybe all these schools that we do get the kids in here from. Maybe they just send us their best people. I don't know. But we've been very lucky with really good kids that have come in here. Literally never had an issue or rude people or anything. It's just been, for kids this age, you never know what you're going to get. You've probably ran into that before. But especially the Newburyport guys, which is the biggest sample size we have, and especially the basketball guys that we got to know a lot because we were doing the games at the high school and then bringing them back in here. And it really is a great group of kids, and they do carry themselves very well, which is cool. And I know coaches do deserve some credit in that, even though I'm sure you don't want it.
No.
No.
I mean, they're with us for only, maybe 2 hours a day, and with their parents for much longer.
Well, there you go. You can give the parents credit, too. That's very nice of you. But, I mean, I remember that's not an easy gig, going on the road in tough environments, and it's you and the boys, and, that can be, kids can get emotional. And, I remember what was it? I think it was that Drake game there, too. Those were some rowdy crowds there, and, Drake had celebrated pretty hard there. I mean, that could have been... things could have happened. It's both. That shows me that there's good coaches on both sides that didn't let it happen, I guess. But it's whenever those environments on the road or whatever. I mean, you got to have kids that carry themselves the right way.
Yeah. No.
Do you even have to worry about that with your group right now?
No. I honestly.
That's a lucky benefit.
Yeah. No. I mean, I'm very fortunate, and I think almost all the kids this year are taking AP classes, honors classes. I mean, you can see it in college when they're recruiting now, and they're recruiting for character. Yeah. And I think the more studies there are and the more people you see with high character and on teams, they're just more successful. Yeah. And I've really put a focus on, you may be talented, but do I really want to deal with you for the next 3 months? And
it makes me think of Kyrie Irving.
Yeah. Perfect example.
It's how much more fun are they to watch too? Oh, it's funny. It's easier to root for teams that are likable, aren't they? Yeah. Your team included, but I'm feeling that way about the Celtics. Kemba Walker. Bumped into Kemba Walker. I'm a Big East guy. No way. Well, not like years ago. I was I guess we overlapped a little bit in college. I can't remember if he's younger or older than me, but we used to have my college guys. We'd always go down to the Big East tournament in New York because we were Providence guys, and Kemba was it's such a great tournament because those early games, it's like the teams kind of come down that are playing the second game, and they'll just kind of sit in the early rows, and we were down kind of low, and Kemba came by and kind of walked by, and oh hey Kemba, how are you? He goes, hey, can I sneak by you? And that was my experience with Kemba Walker. But very polite, nice guy. I always remember that. It's funny the things you remember, but he seems to be eating up Boston, so that's exciting to watch.
Yeah. I've heard nothing from people just talking about him, how pleasant of a person he is.
How bad is it? You've played your whole life, and now you're coaching at this high level of high school hoops. Remember back to that team where you had bad chemistry. How miserable is that?
Oh, it's the worst.
There's no sport where it's like baseball. You're still going to get up there. You have your at bats. There's a little individuality to it. There's no sport like it in basketball. If you don't have chemistry and rhythm, over.
Yeah, you could have the most talented team. Yeah, honestly, and if you don't have that chemistry, it can ruin a lot.
Yeah. Really. How about coaching wise? Have you had some experiences here? You're a young guy still, but you've got enough years under your belt where you know what, we are better. I'm telling you, boys, we are better than what you're coming together as right now.
Oh yeah. No, definitely. I mean, there's been times I've had to sit out very good players because they just don't play within the team, and it can really it can hurt it so bad.
That's going to be frustrating. What's how about the other way? If you had a team that we play better as a group, then I don't think we're that talented, but you play great together. Have you had that already too?
Yeah. I mean, I always thought they were talented, my whatever glasses I'm wearing at that point. But we've had some unskilled teams who when they play well together are very, just so it just 5's going to beat 1 every day.
Yeah.
You know?
Message for Kyrie. Do you guys have? So you got when you started on the 13th, I think you said, right? 13th.
13th our first game.
I always thought that was a tough part of the season because right off the bat, you don't want to dig yourself a hole. I think you did that one year, right? Didn't you get off to a rough start? Or was that one? Am I mixing sports? Maybe it was hockey. I was thinking a rough start one year.
Not at Newburyport yet.
Not at Newburyport. All right, so very good. But that's a tough time of year. I always remember in winter sports, it's like because it's coming up on the holidays, a lot of distractions, but there's some like business to take care of there too before you like go and enjoy Christmas and all that stuff, because you can go away for Christmas break and come back and already be in a hole, which I know you don't want as a coach.
No.
Tough time of year, right?
Yeah.
How do you balance all that stuff going on?
Oh man. In what regard? Like just.
Yeah, I mean, did you? I'm assuming scheduling is going to be difficult when you get it up because you don't want to push these guys too crazy at the beginning, and you want to make sure. I mean, I'm sure you're not practicing on Christmas morning, or maybe you are. I don't know.
Christmas Eve, yeah.
Christmas Eve.
It's optional.
It's optional.
Optional.
Oh, the optional. Yeah. That sounded optional there, guys.
Yeah.
So okay. So then they get Christmas off.
Yep.
So you get the Christmas day off. So that is the. So I mean, that's what I mean. You have to because you got to stay intact and be sharp here for these games. So holidays are the holidays. Enjoy them, but you're still.
Oh yeah, when we're back the next day because we have a game on the 27th.
You do. Okay.
The hardest part is like the conversations that may happen around the Christmas table. You know, that's where teams can be fractured. Is it, you know, I don't like coach's system. You're not playing enough.
Oh, okay.
You know, and sometimes they come back a little
So
bitter.
not your Christmas table.
Oh, no.
The kids and their families.
Yeah, you know, like
gotcha.
they go away and they.
Uncle Johnny's got a few opinions.
Yeah. You know, I don't like his plays. I don't like his system doesn't fit you or whatever. And we have a lot of talks about that going into that break, just to, you know, for them to all realize.
I'm telling you, all the older folks out there, they don't realize how tough of a time of year that is.
No.
I remember it because that's and then we used to do Christmas tournaments. Do you guys have any of those?
Yeah, we do. Yeah,
you do. All right. Yeah. When does that kick in?
That is this year. It's held at Georgetown High School. It's the Mike Verwinski holiday tournament, and we play Triton in the first round. And then
nice little rivalry game early on.
Yep. And then the winner of Amesbury Georgetown.
Okay. All right. So that's right around that time too. So there you go. It's all right in front of you there right in the beginning. So then, and then New Year's comes and you're what, a quarter of the way through the season already?
Yeah. Well, by that time we'll have 8 games under our belt.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it does. So as much as that we talk about it being a marathon, it is, the aspects of it are like a sprint. It's a sprint out of the gate, and you know, you got to keep your head above water. And all right,
and yeah, more so this year than ever too, because of our turnaround. And so our tryouts end on the 4th. Our first day with our team is the 5th, and then our first game's the 13th. So we have like maybe 7 practices, and then we have a scrimmage in there, and have to give them a day off.
Yeah. So you have 8 days with all the new guys to get it right.
Yeah.
That's actually impossible, right?
Yeah.
That's you won't be looking for perfection.
No.
Oh, and here's the playbook. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess do you have to keep things simple in those early goings? I mean, I'm sure you're not gonna. I mean, I don't even know what fewer plays. I don't know.
Oh, I mean, we're putting in a whole new offensive system, and defensively, we're gonna look a little different this year. So it's gonna be. We just have to pick.
Yeah.
You know what we want to focus on right now.
Is that because of personnel, or is that more of a program change that you would like to make for?
Believe it or not, it's more like analytical and where the game's like kind of at, and what shots are, you know, gonna yield the most points per possession, and defensively, like looking at our school as a whole, our athleticism, and what we could do. Yeah. What we, you know. And I studied a lot of like the Pentucket girls team. I watched a lot of their film.
Yeah, they're pretty good.
Yeah. So I watched probably too much of their film this off season just to see how they played, because they've been successful for
I mean
over a decade now. Yeah.
Jeez. It's amazing how that is really hard to do at the high school level. Just to not have one down year of one class, you know, very, very strange almost.
He is Coach McNamara is amazing.
Yes, he had some good daughters too come through.
Yeah.
I think they're all through now, right?
Yes.
They all play college ball and stuff. Speaking of college, have you checked in with or has he checked in with you, Casey, or are you kind of letting him get his feet wet? Or
we talked this past weekend.
Yep.
And
remind me again, was it
Tufts?
That's what I thought. Yep. Okay.
And you can just hear the joy in his voice. I mean,
yeah,
he's just so happy. Like, you know, when he goes to play college now, he's, you know, you might have a few people who love basketball as much as he did at Newburyport.
Yeah.
Now he's going to play and be around a bunch of guys who love the game. Like, live it, breathe it, eat it, like all the time with him. So you can hear that he's excited about that. And
I remember that. I don't know if you were. It was one of the days where we had you and the team in here. If it was just your guys, but they were. Some of the other players were giving him, you know, the business a little bit for he hosted the pasta party. And it was like a Bruins playoff game. And it was like a big moment in the Bruins game. They were all watching it. And he flipped it to the Celtics like earlier in the earlier, see, not as big of a playoff game, if that makes sense. And flipped it to the Celtics. And all the guys were like, what are you doing? He goes, boys, this is a basketball family.
Yep.
The guys were cracking up, but they were like, unbelievable. And that kind of tells you all you need to know. But Casey, basketball family, we do basketball here. So that's good. Will you? I mean, I'm assuming when you get a player that plays at that level at the college level, you probably keep tabs on him as much as you can, right?
Yeah. His first game, I believe, is this Friday.
Yeah.
And they play Emerson at Emerson, and then he has a few game over the weekend. So I'm looking forward to go watching him play. And
cool. It is it's a great. I think I've told you this before. I'm more of a college guy versus NBA guy.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I always love the atmosphere of being around the college game. I don't. It's just, I don't know, something about it. NBA game's great too. Obviously, all that skill, but I don't know. I've always liked the passion of the college game more, and I guess it's closer to the high school gym. Like if you're in a high school tournament game, that kind of feels like a college atmosphere a little bit, you know.
Yeah.
Just the student excitement and all that, and that, you know, I don't know. I'm sure you love every level of basketball, but is there a preference for you, college game versus pro game? What would you prefer your guys watching?
Oh, college.
Yeah.
College. I mean,
if I
have to watch James Harden,
I knew you were going to say that
one time.
I knew it.
I will lose it. Yeah. So yeah, that and then you watch, you know, in the open gyms, and I can't say anything, so I watch him try these like double step backs.
Yeah.
It's disgusting.
And he traveled. Yeah.
Every time. Yeah. Yep.
How about from like a coaching perspective? Do you steal stuff from any of those guys? Like just from watching, maybe even people that you don't know personally?
A lot of the stuff they do is like so complex, and it involves a lot of moving parts, which, you know, it's just, I think at times too much for high school athletes to handle. So I do a lot more like with college. So I go watch college practices and talk to college coaches.
Oh, you actually go out to practices?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Are you invited, or do you have to ask for an invite, or how does that work?
One of my teammates in high school, Ben Chase, is the women's assistant college coach at Army. So me and Tim Mahan, who's the JV coach, we went out to West Point to go watch one of their practices, and now we're just like sharing information back and forth. And
oh, nice.
Yeah, and just meeting with some the old Emerson head coach, meeting with him, and just trying to meet with some like-minded people who see the game a different way.
What is it? All coaches love to do that. Go see other coaches. What is so beneficial? Why does the coach love to do that so much?
Oh, you just pick up so much.
It's like joyous for you. Yeah, I can just see it. Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's. I mean, just to talk the game. I mean, I feel bad for my friends sometimes when I go out with them. All I want to do is talk basketball.
Yeah.
So now I'm in a gym with someone who loves the game like I do, and we can just talk strategy, and it's fun.
That is cool. So are you? It's got to be when you're not having basketball games and not having practices. Is there a little bit of like? Got to find something. Got to find a hobby here or something. Did you pick up golf in the off season?
Oh, I'm awful at golf.
Awful. Oh boy, you're an athlete though.
Once again, I don't know if it's an athletic sport.
Yeah, it's funny. We said that about the runners. I'm not sure I'm not sure we're going to be able to make an argument on the golf thing. No, bad golfer.
What's up?
Bad golfer though.
Yeah, my brother is the golfer in the family. He's a golf pro down in the Cape, so that's his thing.
That probably regressed you. He decided never going to be at that level. So
don't want to take his shine.
Don't want to take his shine. That's good. Golf pro, man. That's a different level of game.
Yeah.
I've had it going a little bit in recent years, but I can never quite get to not even close to a golf pro. Never mind that. It's a tricky game.
Yeah.
I love it. It drives you crazy, but it's a tricky game.
I don't know how you do it. It frustrates me. You pay money and a good amount to go out on a course and become so frustrated.
Yeah.
And then you lose, and then that frustration, it's not a good.
Yeah, but those good few holes, those are the ones that bring you back, because you can just, I can do that,
Yes.
Yeah. Do it 18 times or something.
Yep.
Did you see the something apparently I'm going to ask every high school coach that comes in here this year, because it just comes up. It's front and center in my mind every time this happens. Did you see the soccer kids that were pushing the official out on Martha's Vineyard?
No.
Oh yeah. So 2 Martha's Vineyard high school players in a tournament game. After the game, there's video of it. YouTube it when you get home. Like pushing an official. Both kids suspended for the next year. Coach actually just today got suspended for 2 games. I don't know how they're going to implement that. I mean, it really didn't have anything to do with the coach, except it was his kids. So he gets 2 games, but the kids are suspended for the next year, which actually seems to me, I don't know how you feel about this, seems a little bit light. 1 year suspension for putting your hands on an official. I don't know.
What do I feel about it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Seems light.
No. Yeah. I mean,
you'd probably like to see it first, but yeah.
Yeah. No. I mean, that's just crossing the line, because now if it was verbal,
yeah.
You know what I mean? If they were like kind of verbally going at it,
things happen. Yeah.
But once you put your hands on someone, I think that even goes deeper into like what they need for help.
Legit push from behind. Yeah.
Yeah. No. Yeah. No. Definitely a year.
And I've seen some of your officiating. It is not always perfect, let me tell you.
No, and it's it's part of the messages. You can control the controllables, and you can't control what an official's going to call, and you're just wasting your time and energy if you're going to get upset with everything they do or don't call.
Not to make a bad transition, but speaking of officials, so we, when I was playing in high school, we used to say, even like when we played travel teams, officiating was always like, you know what you're getting,
Mm-hmm.
I used to watch a lot of high school when I was, at Danvers, and it doesn't seem to have changed too much. Like, it seems like you're going to get certain calls, you're going to get bad calls, you're going to get good calls during a game. That is the game anyway. It happens at every level. But has the officiating gotten better since you played back in the day, or is it just kind of?
Oh man. They never called anything when I played.
Yeah, really. You wouldn't believe how many more points Dave would have had.
Some of the officials that when I played, are still officiating.
Yep.
And I think the game, like with the hand checks now, like that's allowed more offensive movement and more player, like offensive player advantage. But no, they're really great people. And I think you have to understand, like they're humans. They could have had a bad day at work, or they could have gotten in a fight with their wife. Or
people forget that's probably not their career. Is the
no, definitely not. And in all reality, they're doing it because they love the game. Yeah, they're not doing it for the money. And the harassment they get it's
crazy. I was at this volleyball game, and I know a lot of these parents. They're Danvers people that I said at the beginning. I went to my cousin's game, and just very calm people and nice, great people in life. Like, kind of lose themselves a little bit, like yelling at like the line, saying, "Oh, you had a good look at the line from back here, did you?"
Yeah.
I couldn't tell. But like it is just crazy how people in those environments get. And I mean, as a coach, I know coaches in basketball, like you have to be. There's a certain level of energy that sometimes can come across as heated, and of course every coach gets heated. I think you'd admit to that. Like, has there ever been a moment where like you've had to go back and like talk to an official and be like, we're good, by the way, like I didn't mean to whatever.
Yeah,
all the time. How does that conversation go?
No, usually after the game, I'll go try to seek them out and find them in the locker room, and
you will.
Yeah. We just laugh about it. They know.
Yeah,
like. And now having them for so long and coaching for so long, I've had to scale back a lot from when I was, at Triton.
Yeah.
In my first few years, I was a different coach. And
what do you mean? You were a wild man out there? Is that what you're saying?
I you try to like simulate what you know what I mean, and what you've seen, and and it just wasn't the way to talk. Like I was trying to act like I was a 20-year-old veteran. Yeah. Talking to refs, and it was like, no, this is your first year. Like, watch your tone.
You guys don't get that call right now. That's funny. I mean, there's something to that, though. I mean, there's that. I mean, I don't know if you've never played basketball with in a league or whatever. There is something to relationships with these. I mean, these refs are talking to you a lot out there, telling you what you can and can't get away with. Sometimes they'll tell you do that again. I'm calling it. It's not as cut and dry. So there's a feel that these refs have to have, and hopefully, I always think more communication is better.
Yeah.
I'm sure I guess all coaches would probably feel that way, but there's a lot going on out there. Basically, is what people don't notice. I think sometimes.
No, there's a lot, and I think free throws being shot, a good conversation with an official at that point, where you're not yelling and your body language is good, is the way to go.
There's an art to it too, right? You don't want to be hands in the air, fist flying, pumping like if you can kind of hide it a little bit,
Yeah, I could throw my hands up and say, "How's your day today?" And it looks like I'm, yelling at them.
Listen, John. That call was one of the worst calls I've ever seen with a smile, right?
Yeah. Good. And they'll laugh about it.
Yeah.
Because, sometimes they even have their kids in the stands who are, they bring them to work with them. And you just think, like, man, that must be pretty embarrassing at times when you have that parent in the stands who thinks they know the game inside and out. And it's tough.
What coach we had on here recently told me, one thing about parents is they yell and yell and yell. 90% of the time, you can't hear anything they're saying on the court.
No.
It's too into what you're doing.
You really can't.
Except for that one time when you can, and then you get really upset, right?
Oh, yeah. No, when you watch the film and you can hear him on the film,
that's when you get angry. That is funny. What's the you've had some pretty good luck with the parents, though, here at
great
Newburyport,
parents.
Right? Yeah.
Great parents.
That's good.
Yeah.
Until you have the bad batch, and then you come on here and rip everybody, right?
No, they come and go,
I know some coaches have had that moment where they've had to talk to parents. I mean, that goes back decades and decades. Is every coach just trying to avoid really hoping they just don't have to do that?
I mean, if you're a tough parent and your son's on the fence of making a team, he probably won't make it because the coach doesn't want to really deal with you.
Yeah,
because if they're emailing me all the time, I know they're emailing the football coach all the time, and we all talk, so you know who those parents are, and you try not to hold it against the kid. You really don't want to.
Yeah.
But it's just like,
I mean, it's practical. Why?
Yeah.
It's just an extra headache that you prefer not to have.
Yeah, you don't want it. It can. I think the impact that they don't really. I was talking to the hockey coach about this. It's like what one email does to a coach, like because you love the kids so much.
Yeah.
And then when the parent thinks you're slighting them, you're like, it can honestly ruin a day.
Yeah.
And I remember doing practice plans, and I got an email from a parent, and you just don't want to throw out what you really feel. You have to script a good email, and it usually takes like a good hour to 2 hours to script a good email. So now I didn't finish my practice plan.
Well, because you care, right? You know.
You care about the kid a ton, and you try to convey that, and I don't know.
Yeah, that is tough. And then I'm sure you get into situations too where that it's a good kid, and that he's maybe playing 5 minutes first 15 minutes is good for him.
Yeah. And,
we'll keep working at whatever we need to work at. But the parent maybe thinks his superstar out there, and maybe that's getting into the kid's head too. And then you're having to fight this battle of like a tug of war a little bit. I mean, how many times you've probably seen the tug of war, right? Have you been able, can you feel that? Like,
oh, yeah.
All right, this kid's getting bad information from somewhere.
Oh, yeah, because they're shooting shots that, one year I coached the 8th grade travel team while I was coaching the varsity team at Triton.
Yeah.
And I remember a kid he was a youth kid, and they have to receive, I think, like 4 minutes a half. And he was getting his mandatory 4 minutes because he just wasn't really that good.
Yeah.
And he crossed over half court. Someone gave him the ball, and I hear the mother from the stands, "Shoot it!" I just look back, and I'm like, "Wow."
Did he shoot it?
No. Okay. Thank goodness.
Let it fly.
But that's the information that some of them get because for whatever reason.
That's going to be tough. What do you do? Because you can't say don't listen to mom and dad. Or maybe you can. I don't know. Can you be that direct?
At times,
Yeah.
And now it's to the point where if I get an email from a parent or a text, before I even respond, I'm bringing the kid in.
Yeah.
And I'm going to read him the email that they wrote to me.
Yeah.
And just be like, all right, so this information is coming from somewhere.
Yep.
Yeah. What's going on?
And the kid's your primary concern here. It's not. It's not mom and dad.
No, I respect what the parents are doing, and I know all they want is the best interest of their kids. But
Yeah,
it's tough. It's tough.
That's you mentioned Coach Paul Yameen there, the hockey coach in Newburyport. You've mentioned before on this show that he's very good for you. You guys actually have a really good. I mean, two completely different sports, obviously.
Yep.
Two completely different mentalities, maybe some similarities. But what is it that you get out of having real conversations with him? I mean, obviously the gossiping is not gossiping, but you know what I mean. It's probably somewhat refreshing to just be able to unload that on somebody. But tactically wise, you probably learn a lot from him too. I mean, he's a veteran guy too. He's been around.
He's one of the best hockey coaches I've ever met. I mean, he cares so much about those kids, and
he does.
And he's had so much success, and he knows, what it takes to get to that next level. And I've learned a lot from him about like what it takes to get to the next level. I mean, he's won a state championship. He's very well accomplished, and I love just talking with him and knowing that he has some of the same problems I'm having. Yeah. And how do we?
Do you straight up ask him sometimes, like, how, hit this is the situation I'm in? How would you handle it?
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. All of my Coach Smolsky. I mean, you name them. We all lean on each other for support.
You probably have to, right? I mean, that's like you said. That's why you go visit other college coaches at Army. I mean, they know things that I don't know just because you're coaching every day, right?
Oh yeah. No, they've encountered so many different situations that I'm encountering or will encounter or have encountered, so we just ask each other for advice a lot of the time. It's
a good lesson for people too. I think actually here's a good one for all you. Actually, maybe he doesn't want me getting the secret out here, but I'm going to say it anyway. For like the 8th grader going to play, if he's a hockey player. When I first came to Newburyport, he's you're going to do the hockey games, and Coach Yameen has a bit of a. I think he's well respected as a good guy, but he has a tough guy reputation. It's a tough program, but he is, you're right. He cares more about those kids than anybody else.
Yep.
Will fight for them, whether it be with officials, if the officials are wrong, or like he'll go to bat for his kids when he needs to. And he could not have been nicer and easier and more helpful to me when we were calling every one of their games there on those radio side in those early years. I was like, this is the guy that people are thinking I should be a little bit scared of. Come on, this guy could not be more helpful, And he's a really good guy, and it's just it's funny how some kids or maybe have different impressions of people just from a distance.
Oh yeah,
it's interesting.
No, he loves every single one of those kids. So when he gets flack for whatever reason, and the tough thing is like, I'm never gonna play a kid that is like, if they're good and they can help us, like why would I not play them?
Right.
And we've had talks about this. Like it would be like punching myself in the face.
Yeah.
Like I want to win so bad. I'm that selfish. I'm going to play the best.
Yep.
So if they're not going to help me, if a certain player's not going to help me win, I'm not. They're not going to crack the lineup like just to please someone.
Yeah. No, it is. I mean, this is the level. It's really the first level where the winning is really. I'm not going to say all that matters, but it is. It's
a priority.
Yeah, I mean, I guess AAU ball now is kind of big, so I mean, I guess that, but even that is more selfishly. You're trying to get yourself into a better.
It's the grossest thing ever.
Oh, really? Give me your thoughts on AAU. I'd like to.
Gross.
See, I was never in AAU. Like, it wasn't as big was it huge when you like? No, you're a little older than me. Like, I don't remember it being that big.
I remember there was like the Middlesex Magic.
Yeah.
Which I mean. You had to be a stud to play on.
Yep.
And then there was one other team. And that was it. Like,
yeah.
And then like BABs. So,
but we had like our town travel team.
Yeah.
That's what we did.
Yeah. And that's what it's like this spring AAU and it's great.
What's so gross about it? Because I mean, AAU is very rarely talked about in like a good light. Like,
it's the coaching from the sideline when you're the parent. It's each individual kid going out for themselves. It's the lack of like the unity as a team. And don't get me wrong, I'm sure some do a great job. It's the lack of experienced coaches. I mean, you just don't know who's, are they in it for the money? And most of them are.
Yep.
And
that's going to be tough to watch from the sidelines if you're seeing
disgusting.
That. I saw the argument made the other day with all this. I think I was watching the Outside the Lines thing on ESPN. They said with all the load management that all these NBA, the young guys are doing, Michael Jordan used to pride himself on, I'm getting paid to play 82 games. Mm-hmm. If I'm hurt, I'll sit out, but if I'm not, I'm playing. And all these guys that are taking nights off, you got people paying good money for tickets, and like it's not fair to the fan. So what's the right answer? And a couple people came on the show and said, AAU kids are playing like at a young age, these developmental ages. They're playing all year round, all these games. Nobody has any management on them at this point. They're just running wild, and the wear and tear on like the college kid is like 20 times what it was. But I don't even know if that's true, but it sounded like a good argument. I'm wondering if it is out of control a little bit how much these kids are playing.
It is.
It is. Yeah. Simple answer, huh?
Yeah. No, wow. It's I mean, and then it's at what point do you value how much like winning?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So if you play at 10, whether you win or lose, you're probably going to play at 12. Yeah. And then you're going to play at 2. So like, what value was that 10 o'clock game? If you know you're going to play regardless. Like I know. If we beat Drake, we're going to win. We're going to move on.
Right.
If we don't beat them, we're going to lose.
Yeah.
And we need to play. We need to win every game to win our league, and then make the tournament. So every game's so valuable.
Yeah.
Where they're sometimes more concerned with who's watching them and who's in the stand. I don't know.
Interesting. All right. So another add you to the list of not supportive of the AAU game. Very good. The it makes me very much take a lot of pride in my Beverly Athletic Center basketball. It's very high level. We've had remember the Conley kid there from Fenwick?
Yeah,
he was. I guess he was.
Sean.
Sean. Yeah, thank you. He used to shoot around there, play a little bit, kind of before my time. But he was. What did he do? He did Ohio State.
Ohio State, yeah.
I think he went to PC first too, didn't he? Was he one of those transfer guys that followed O'Brien?
I'm not positive.
I think that's the story with him. It's a long time ago, actually.
Yeah. No, he was.
Is he about your age? Was he playing when you were?
I'm not sure.
Yeah.
But I know he was. And he coached at St. John's Prep, won a state championship there, and he was the coach of Pat Connaughton.
Oh yes, that's right. Yeah.
I mean, I've heard great things. I mean.
Yeah. He was always a good teacher. I remember he used to come down when we were young. When he was in high school, he would come down to the Hut Shots program, which is like young kids. Yeah. And he'd show us all the drills and stuff. It's pretty fun watching a lights out shooter.
Oh yeah.
Just even go through his workout routine. Pat Connaughton knows a little bit. Final thoughts to the kids that want to come out and try out for you this year. I know some kids probably look at your squad and say, "Wow, they got quite a strong group of kids returning from last year. Why even bother?" But that's probably not the mentality you want to be putting out there, right?
No. That's I highly discourage people to cut themselves. You know what I mean? When they just look and
cut themselves. That's a good way. Yeah.
And they assume and they don't know. I mean, we have our meeting and I'll outline what we're looking for in players, but they could have a skill that we value that they may not be valued when they're playing pickup.
Yep.
As opposed to whatever. So I'm excited to see whoever does come out and make sure their grades are up, because we don't really deal well with players who aren't going to have good grades. And
as a little nugget to that don't overlook that, right?
Yeah. And for those who are trying out, please do not ask any of the coaches during tryouts, what can you do to get better? Because by that time it's just too late, you know.
Ah, okay, very good. This work needs to be put in by now. Is that what we're saying?
Oh, yeah.
This is probably a common question you get, huh?
It is.
All right, well, very good. Enjoy the tryouts, Coach. I took the whole hour with you. Sorry, I think I told you I was going to keep you for a half hour.
No, I love it.
I tend to do that with you and people that I get rolling with. So, and congratulations, man.
Thank you.
That was news to me. What a way to start the show, hearing news like that. So, sorry I wasn't in the loop on that. I should have been.
Oh no,
I'm usually better with my investigative.
No.
And congratulations to back home, the whole family. It's going to be a growing family, 2 dogs, now a baby coming. So
we're excited.
You'll be a busy man this winter. I still hope to get you on the show when season kicks into gear. So I don't care. You can bring the baby or whatever.
Awesome. Yeah.
I'm sure she loves these programs.
Yeah.
Always good to see you, Coach Dave Clay.
Great seeing you.
And great luck as you get going in the season. Happy holidays. We'll catch up with you after that, and we'll get some of your players on here too. So we'll see you soon.
Thank you.
Thank you, Lily Doucette. I've been running the whole show. I haven't given you a shout out. Directing the show today, producing the show, Tyler Neufeld, Sarah Hayden. They're here all week, and they really do all the hard work. So I appreciate those guys. I don't say that enough. Have a good weekend, everybody. Enjoy whatever you're doing. And we'll get the holiday schedule out here soon. I know I keep saying I'm not exactly sure what we're going to look like as we approach the holidays. So we'll be here all next week. That's all you need to know for now. And we're all booked up. Unusual for me. already, way in advance. So how about that? We got some good shows for you next week. So looking forward to that. My name's Drew Moholland. Follow us at Joppa Afternoons on Twitter, JOPPA Afternoons, at Joppa Afternoons on Twitter. My name is Drew Moholland. Again, we'll see you next week. Bye-bye now.